Hello, my name is Tammy Briggs. I'm a Dynamics 365 pre-sales consultant at AlfaPeople, and in this video I'll focus on intelligent alerts into ITSM with the help of Microsoft Operations Management Suite and Provence ITSM connector. And I'll wrap up with some analytics at the end of the video. So here I'm in my log analytics section in Azure, and I can see in my management section my OMS portal. Now if I click into that, I can see an overview of the connected servers that I have, for instance, that I get information from using my Microsoft monitoring agents. When that information is fed into OMS, I would like to somehow that information being fed into ITSM, and that's where my ITSM connector comes into play. My ITSM connector feeds that information as either an event or an incident into my chosen ITSM environment. So for that to happen, I need an alert rule. So I'll show you what an alert rule looks like. This is one I've created. So whenever an error event occurs in either of the servers that I showed earlier that I've got my monitoring agents installed on, the alert will trigger an email or as well as create an event in ITSM. Another example of an alert rule I have is one that notifies me whenever a disk is below 30%. It uses this search query, searches within every 15 minutes and sends an email every 5 minutes, and sends an email to me and creates an event or an incident in ITSM. So what does the email look like? So this is an email that's come through from the alert rule. And it's just told me, the name of the alert rule, the workspace where it's generated from, the duration, the search query, the number of results, and some more information down the bottom. That same information can also be found in ITSM because of the ITSM connector, and I can go into my service management and event section within ITSM. As you can see, I'm in my ITSM environment, and all the events for today have come in by device, by source, etc. And I can also drill into each, record, and I can see the description, which would look exactly like the email. So when I have all this information in ITSM, I would like an aggregated version of it in one place where I could just locate it, and that's why I have my Power BI dashboard to do so. So for instance, in here, I can see in this week on that particular server, I've got 187 errors. On the other virtual machine, VM1, I've got only 35. And I can also see the records down on the bottom here. I can also filter by date. So if I wanted to see last week, for instance, you can see, or last month, it also filters that number by computer. And also on the right hand side, I can see the total available disk space per device. So whilst we're on Power BI, I'll also show you a typical service user dashboard. So as a service user, I would like to know the number of service requests per status, per service, by account. I could also want to know by SLA due color. So if I wanted to filter by date, for instance, let's say I wanted to know all service requests that have been raised this month. I can see that filters and there's total number of service requests returned. If I wanted to know out of these which ones have been a near breach, I could also filter by the SLA traffic color on the left, or the ones that are overdue and the ones that are not overdue. And as you notice that as I click on each particular visual, across the board, all those other visuals get filtered, as well as the records beneath. If I want to filter by, status as well, I could do it by status, or I could do it by account. So whilst we're on service users, I can also show you what an incident monitoring dashboard would look like. So as a service user, I might want to know all the incidents that are at priority 1 or priority 2 or priority 3 or priority 4. I might also want to know the incidents by category or by status or by urgency. And I can also filter by, the date range on my left hand side. And also the records that make up these visuals are also shown on the bottom here. I can also filter by account in the middle section here, and in the bottom section here I can see tickets that are associated with those incidents. So yeah, priority 1, the 30 priority ones. If I wanted to filter by just accounts, I could do so as well, and that will filter across the whole board. And if I want to filter this week's tickets by origin, and that filters as well. And if I wanted to work in one of those records, I could also do so by clicking in the record URL section. So thank you very much for your time. Just to recap, I've shown you the Microsoft Operations Management Suite where we get intelligent alerting to ITSM, and I showed you the ITSM connector which feeds all that information into ITSM as either events or incidents. And then I wrapped up with some analytics in Power BI to really get some good insight and make better decisions using those intelligent analytics. Thank you very much for your time.